Saifuddin Soz of the Congress Party is with us tonight. Harish Salve, former Solicitor General. Dr. Ajay Kumar, Member of Parliament. Anil Desai, Member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha of the Shiv Sena. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Harish Salve, you know, it's very easy to do a slanging match. And therefore, deliberately tonight, I don't have the SP and the BSP on this chat, because then it becomes a very predictable chat. My question to you is, why do we have to be mute spectators to what is going on in the Parliament?
Well, Arnab, I don't think we are mute at all. I mean, much as I have been critical of the Lokpal bill and that movement, you know, part of the reason why it has struck a chord in the Indian heart is because of the increasing disenchantment with the institutions, which is dangerous for our democracy. And I'm quite sure, whatever may be the political divide on this, I'm not very clear on what is going on even on Colgate, and I wish I would have heard a structured debate with the BJP attacking the Congress and the Congress defending and understand it more, and on various issues. And let me come to the issue at hand, Arnab. We have been mute spectators to this kind of a thing. When the last constitutional amendment was passed overriding the Supreme Court judgment round 1 on reservation and promotion, in one of the houses, there was only one member of parliament who got up to speak because the bill was introduced at 5 p.m. And the speaker, I think it was Nejma Haptullah at that time, just told him that your biggest support to the backwards and Dalits of this country would be that you do not speak today and let the bill be passed.
So true.
And the bill was passed.
So true.
Now, this is the level of debate we have on constitutional amendments.
So true. You are so true, Mr. Salve. Because the problem is, and that's a question Mr. Saifuddin Soz needs to answer, because he's from the Congress party. Mr. Saifuddin Soz, why are you introducing a bill like this? It is nothing in the way that you have presented it in Parliament. This bill for quota in promotions is nothing but a red herring. Please tell me, why would you want to bring in a constitution? 1 minute, sir. Let me complete, sir. I will give you the floor right after that. Why would you want to bring in a constitution amendment bill as important as this one in the midst of the ongoing din in Parliament, unless it served some other purpose of trying to distract attention from Colgate? Why would you do that, sir?
It's not that. Every question has to be answered on the floor of the Parliament. But see, who is responsible for this deadlock? It is BJP squarely. Over a period of time I have been watching, be it UPA first or UPA second, the question over was, you see, deadlocks by the BJP people in both houses of Parliament. They troop into the well. It never happened. I have been here 27 years in and out of Parliament. I never saw this kind of...
Mr. Soz, you are not answering my question.
And they have created, created a deadlock.
No, Mr. Soz.
It is not possible to explain
Mr. Soz, I am asking you a very simple question. And please believe me, sir.
That simple question could be answered on the floor of the Parliament.
No, sir.
Anybody would from the...
No. No, sir. No. Let's go deeper, sir.
It is not today.
Mr. Soz.
These days.
Mr. Soz, just before you came in, Mr. Harish Salve made a point that last time they introduced this bill on the last day at 5 o'clock. You know, this is not the way to go about it. My question to you is, a constitution amendment requires the consent and cooperation of the Bharatiya Janata Party. It requires a 2/3 majority. You can't even run Parliament for 2 minutes now. 1 minute, sir. You can't run Parliament for 2 minutes now. How are you introducing a bill that requires 2/3? Tell me that, Mr. Soz, and I rest my case.
Why did you raise the question what has been happening in the Parliament?
No.
We can answer this question also, but see the deadlock of Parliament.
No, you know. No. My point, Mr. Soz, is you know Parliament is going to be disrupted. Anybody knows that Parliament is going to be disrupted. So let me come to the point. You are doing this to deflect attention from Colgate.
No, not at all.
And that's why you are a mute spectator to the fight that happened today.
You see, there are spokesmen representing the party. I'm a congressman. I'm telling you, my understanding is that BJP has created a deadlock which is very dangerous.
No,
Mr. Salve was saying that we are a democracy. Every question will be answered in the Parliament of India. Parliament is supreme. All these questions can be raised when there is an atmosphere for that.
Sir,
BJP has left no scope for debate.
Sir,
that is the question. The basic question is that.
Sir, no, sir. I'm going deeper. I'm going deeper. So I run those pictures. I want to run the pictures full frame once again. And I want to give our viewers a 1 minute background to what is happening today. What has happened today? Two MPs have come to blows in a shameful and disgraceful manner in the floor of the House. One is pulling the other by his collar. This is all happening at a time when there is already a deadlock in Parliament. My question, next question is to Mr. Anil Desai, who is a member of Parliament of the Rajya Sabha, sir. Why do you think this fight happened? Was the fight engineered? Was the fight planned and rehearsed? Mr. Desai.
Yeah, I mean, it was a clever ploy of Congress. I mean, at this juncture to introduce an amendment bill, and it very well it was known to not only to the parliamentarians but entire India knew what is going on, what was the reason to shift focus from Colgate and to bring into this kind of thing. This was very well engineered.
So you are saying it was meant to shift attention. You are convinced. You are convinced it was meant to shift attention.
Of course.
Can you explain a little bit?
But in the bargain, what has happened? Yeah, in the bargain, what has happened? I mean, all of us have degraded the standard, the parliament, the institution, and the largest democracy like India. I mean, the entire world was watching it. I mean, it's a shame, only shame could define this.
Why, Mr. Sos?
The way Congress has been playing, I mean, people.
Why do you say they are playing people? Please continue, then I'll get Mr. Sos to respond. Yes.
Yeah, Congress is in the habit of playing this kind of games. Off and on, people have seen whenever mandate, and that is how the Congress as a party and as a head of the UPA.
You are making a serious charge.
Whether the supporting.
You are making a fairly serious charge.
Supporting parties, whether.
Mr. Desai.
I'm just expressing my opinion. I'm expressing my opinion. I mean, if you go into deep, as you said that, I mean, you want to go deeper into it, you will find that whether the supporters of the Congress, whether they really stand at this juncture with the Congress with kind of scams which are coming up, with the charges which are being leveled and which are coming up, they are not able to answer, they are just circumventing the things. And if these things continue, whether it will help the strong democracy to continue.
Before
kind of things are happening all over India, maybe.
Ajay Kumar. Ajay Kumar, do you also believe that the Congress set it up? Do you believe the Congress tried to get this fight in Parliament as a desperate attempt to take the attention away from Colgate?
No, obviously they did, but
why do you say obviously they did? Why do you say obviously? People need to know.
Because the fact is that the Parliament is not running at all. So if you're trying to bring a constitutional amendment, I mean, the whole idea, but it's a political pushing. But Arnab, I want to say something which is, which is disappointing is 25% or 20% of the legislations are passed within less than 5 minutes. One of the major causes of poor governance is legislators not spending time on details. So you leave legislation in the hands of bureaucrats, and you continuously have poor governance in this country because we as members of parliament are not spending time on the fundamental of enacting good legislation by debating issues. So you have very poor legislations drafted by
now come back to the point of what happened today. Ajay, come back to the point of what happened today. Put your charge, because Saifuddin Soz is with us. I think we need to also, get very direct about this. Please tell Mr. Saifuddin Soz why you believe the Congress set up this fight, and then let him respond.
See, now, look, it's a political, it was obviously a political move because there is no debate happening, so they created a red herring. So it's a no-brainer. But the question again is whether it's the BJP.
No, but it's criminal. It's unacceptable. It's unforgivable. You say it's a no-brainer, but for the average citizen, it's unforgivable that a political party should be trying to create a state of conflict.
But Arnab, it is the fault which lies with the Congress and Bharatiya Janata Party. The Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't want a debate because there's so many skeletons in their cupboard on coal allotment, and they're, taking a moral high ground as if they're, the coal scam. But if you actually have a debate, then I don't think many people will, both the national parties will come very, honorably out of this discussion, one. And the second issue is that Congress suddenly decides to create such a red herring of a constitutional amendment which again disrupts the whole situation. So I think both, whether it's the Congress or the BJP, have, played what you call short-term political expediency is more
it's
important
very, very serious,
than national interest.
Mr. Sos, so many people are seeing through it. Are they all wrong?
You see,
No, are they all wrong?
I must tell you, I want to tell you that the basic business of the parliament is producing legislation.
Yeah, but not to fight either.
And generally, listen to me, generally speaking, the legislation doesn't receive as much attention as it deserves. But you can't blame the Congress party for that. As per this bill, which you feel should not have been introduced, give Narayanaswamy a chance to explain. There is no atmosphere prevailing in the parliament. The blame goes to the BJP.
So why are you?
Doesn't want any debate.
So are you serious about legislation?
Are
you serious?
People in the panel
Mr. Sos, Mr. Sos,
on all issues must take in
Mr.
Parliament,
Sos,
on the
please
floor
tell
of
me.
Parliament.
Please tell me.
All questions will be raised.
Now I'll go deeper.
All questions will be answered.
Now I'm going to have to go deeper.
BJP doesn't want that.
Now I'll go deeper. Mayawati raised the issue of a constitution amendment in May. CAG report is tabled on 17 August. All-party meeting is summoned on 21st August. Cabinet passes the draft bill on the 4th of September. Introduces on the 5th of September. You show a mix of an unnatural haste. You are going with the speed of an Lewis Hamilton in terms of legislation. You are going with the speed of an F1 driver with this legislation in the middle of a session when you are not even on talking terms with each other. Mr. Sos, has the Congress party...
This debate, this informal debate could take place in the parliament, on the floor of the
Mr. Sos, both these parties are dependent on you.
Questions will be answered
Mr. Sos, BSP is dependent on you. After the Uttar Pradesh elections, they are reduced to nothing in the state, they are dependent on you. Samajwadi Party is dependent on you. The CBI case is on Mulayam Singh Yadav's head. Everybody is saying the Congress party can get the BSP and SP to fight without much of an effort, which is what you have done today. That's the charge, a very serious charge against you.
The kind of situation you witness in Rajya Sabha today, it was created by the BJP. The deadlock is there. There is no possibility for Narayanaswamy to explain his position.
But Mr. Sos,
all questions must be raised in the parliament.
Question is Mr. Salve.
Debate alone
Mr. Salve. Mr. Salve. Today, Mr. Saifuddin Sos says blame the BJP. You can blame the BJP for no discussion. But can you blame the BJP for the physical fight that happened in the Rajya Sabha today? Can you blame them for that?
No, Arnab, I'm sorry if I sound horribly cynical because I am feeling like that today.
Sir.
We use an expression as lawyers called wisdom of parliament. I think we'll have to substitute it now soon with muscle of parliament. And instead of parliament, in addition to the parliamentary library, we'll now need a parliamentary gym with weight trainers. I mean, is that what we are reducing the democracy in this country to?
Absolutely.
And that's one. The second is, let me tell you, I think this politics of obstruction, I have not been able to understand what any political party gains by blocking parliament. But we are in a situation where you have reduced democracy to this, and all political parties are guilty of this, because I dare say if the situation was reversed, if BJP was in government and Congress was in opposition, they would have possibly done the same thing. And in this scenario, now to table a constitutional amendment, it is the most sacred power given to Parliament under Article 368 to alter our fundamental faith, the Constitution of India. You use it as a lever, and I think people like us who are not politicians and don't understand politics also realize that this was obviously some kind of a political game, and whether to add masala to it, you got a little Bollywood fight in Parliament or what, God knows. But what are we reducing our institutions to? What have we reduced our Constitution to?
Exactly.
We reduce our Constitution to a toy with which we play like this. I mean, where are we going with democracy?
Mr. Salve, Mr. Sos is responding to you. Saifuddin Sos is responding to you. But what is wrong in what Mr. Salve is saying, Mr. Saifuddin Sos? What is wrong? Today, everybody, Mr. Sos, believes that the Congress party, you
Parliament
see,
has been
these two parties
held to ransom by the BJP. Look, if BJP
Mr.
were interested in debate, they could defeat. They could defeat this motion.
But Mr.
They could defeat this.
But this is not about the BJP.
Through their democratic rights, constitutional
Mr.
rights.
Sos.
But there is no debate.
Mr. Sos,
Therefore,
Mr. Sos, this is not about the BJP.
Can crop up only in a deadlock.